Yeah, basically, I'd like to take more time to cover godly women. Um, there's really in my world two kinds of women: worldly women and godly women. And not to be, I'm not trying to be misogynistic or unfair or unbalanced or anything like that, or just a stereotype. Because I like to give, you know, women a fair shot at getting to know me and becoming as happy as they could become if they could spend that part of their life with me. I like to try to be fair, and I don't like to be closed minded. Um, I don't like to just limit myself to the future that I could have or the happiness that I could have. And I, I've noticed that there are women that are godly. They try to live how God has instructed humanity to live. And there are women that are worldly that are just kind of out on their own. And, well, I've never picked a favorite before now. But maybe now's the time to pick a favorite. Well, with or without picking a favorite, I do want to cover godly women. This is on my heart. This is a thing that I pray about. Um, when we look at the woman we want to meet, do we look at ourselves? Do we look at how well we match the woman we'd want to meet? Um, I always joke around about meeting Amanda Bynes, and yeah, truth be told, she's one of the more godly women that I know of in Hollywood. And I guess that's the thing for me is, fortitude, spiritual fortitude, and humility and grace, and these can be godly women attributes. Whereas worldly women, if I'm being honest, when it comes to worldly women, I like my women like I like my coffee, cold and bitter. And I don't have a lot of emotions myself. And when I consider what kind of life I would have paired with a worldly woman, um, my best thoughts tend to be according to, you know, how well she could relate to me. And, I'm a Catholic existentialist, so, those are two different realms of thought. Those are two different trains of thought. And if I'm being an existentialist, um, and I'm looking at, what kind of woman do I want to be paired with? Um, this is an opportunity for me to have a very intimate relationship with another person. And when I categorize women for what it's worth, there tends to be two types: godly women and worldly women. And the worldly women that I prefer are the ones that I can relate to the best. And this tends to be women without a lot of emotions. And it's just my favorite. And then there's godly women, where with godly women, it's not as much about what denomination are they. It's about how sincere are they, and it's a different type of existence. It's an entirely different, um, pairing, because I try to be, you know, how God's asked me to be. I don't try to be an existentialist, I just am. But when I try to be at peace, I try to follow God's instruction. When I try to be noble, I try to follow God's instruction, you know. There's just certain attributes that are godly that I find more appealing than um, a regular attribute of a worldly person. And it's very rare for me to find a godly woman that I enjoy to be with because I like to party a lot. And that's not on the list of godly things to do. If you guys ever read the Bible, it's not like when you party hard, but it doesn't um, party hard, but never take it too far. It doesn't talk about that. It talks about you don't drink in excess. It talks about when Jesus was on the earth, wine was common. Um, on that note, there was, just to be real about this, there was wine given to Jesus when he was being crucified. They didn't give him water, they gave him wine. You know. When I think of a godly woman, do I need her to be Catholic? Not necessarily, but do I drink? Well, you know, it's a certain social thing that my family has an inclination towards. And it's rooted into our socialization skills. Not rooted into our skills, but techniques. And it's just a part of living, like it was for the disciples, and it was for the people at the wedding at Cana when Jesus had his first miracle again. Just keeping it real. And what I look for in a godly woman is not how well we relate, but how sincere she is in her endeavors. She's already a godly woman. What is she doing? Why is she doing it? Does she mean it? Is she just going through the motions? Or was this her idea? Was this in one way, shape, or form her idea to do this way, at this time, at this rate? And, there's something to be said for that. I find it attractive when a woman stands on her own, but not stands on her own the way that I stand on my own. Stands on her own in an endeavor, in that she is of her own mind and not of somebody else's. I find that attractive. And this is a thing that a godly woman might be more inclined towards than a worldly woman. In my experience, worldly women don't tend to have this need, as it might be perceived, for independence as much as do women that follow the instruction of God find themselves independent, as I have found myself independent as being a man of God. And, that's just a start to this. And I want to cover this more, but thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, please consider it. And thanks for watching.